It says everything you need to spend, let it fit in your 50%. Then there's a 30 for savings, or if you're paying a loan, then channel the 30 towards the loan, and then 20 for savings. Now, this Tumia pesa ikuzoee should be limited to that 50.
Not past 50.
Not past 50, yeah? So that at the end of the day, we also told don't muzzle an ox in the threshing field, is it? So you need to enjoy what you're using, but moderately, because when you limit it to that 50%, you can have all your life fit into that if you're really, really keen on ensuring that after this dance, there'll still be another dance yonder, and that dance is now to help me get to the next level rather than stay glued on that particular space.
It's interesting that you talk about dance with money, and this book that is in front of you, if I see it clearly, it says Dance with My Money. George, this is a book written by George Oyuga, I'm assuming. Okay, that is you.
Yes, this is me.
But what are you trying to address with this particular book,
With
Dance with My Money?
This book is trying to open people's eyes to those dance patterns that I talked about. Because what I discovered when doing it was the fact that we have those 5 stages. We have the stage where you have a relationship, for example, with TV47, is it?
Yes.
How do you manage that relationship? That is a dance floor on its own. Because it is one thing that tweaks your mind, where you, in this book, I posit that you can actually do things differently such that you start seeing your employer as your client. Because in the business world, your client is this person who buys from you a good or buys from you a service. So you have a service that you're giving to TV47 that this particular client is paying for consistently every month. So we end up now calling them employer and we are employees, is it? The moment you walk into this space every day with that employer-employee mentality, you'll always walk around like a victim. But when you start looking at your employer as your client, who buys your service every month consistently or weekly, depending on how the pay remuneration pattern is, then that changes your mindset completely. You'll always be in this space as a problem solver, someone who wants to make their client feel good, make their client happy. That already changes your perspective and culture within an organization. That is dance floor number 1. Dance floor number 2 is when that relationship has been managed, it creates an opportunity for earnings. This earning now introduces you to a different relationship. We are now relating with what has come in, which is the money. If you don't channel it into certain patterns, which will be now configured within the template of your budget, the 50-30-20 or do 50-20-20-10, depending on where you are, definitely your money cycle will remain there. If you don't handle it that way, it will remain there. And that's why people start agitating for higher pay, but success is not in how much you earn. It is in how you manage the little that comes into your hands. So if you manage that space very well, at the end of that dance, you'll have something left called savings, is it? But you know, if you don't do that, and what happens is, you'll always look at your money and look at the month, and you discover that you have more month left than the money every time.
Yes.
And that happens, and you get into that vicious cycle. So how do we break that? By introducing people to such tools like budgeting tools, enabling them to acquire certain skills around debt, money management, and that means, are you able to also manage that immediate gratification whenever it knocks? Because we are in a society whereby if you're in that space and now back to the money wounds, because this blends psychology and finance to create that counseling, financial counseling approach. Because after every chapter,